Welcome, everyone, to the South Russell Village Council meeting. Today is Sunday. Pardon me, it is Monday, July 20th. Please rise. Your hand over your heart. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Fiscal officer will take the roll.
Wenzel. Here. Bell.
Here.
Berger.
Here.
Canton.
Here.
Kavanaugh. Here. Porter.
Here. Before we get to the minutes, since we have visitors this evening, please sign in. There's a clipboard in the back of the room someplace. Also, please get an agenda and look on the back of the agenda where we'll have how we handle visitors who want to speak. Some of you are veterans and know how we do this. Some of you are just your first meeting. But basically, you're going to be given 5 minutes to speak. After 3 minutes, I'll raise 2 fingers to let you know your time is almost at end. Okay, while you get ready, we'll knock off the minutes from June 15th, the regular council meeting. Move to approve minutes. Move to approve.
Second.
By Porter, seconded by Kavanaugh. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Recuse.
Canton recuses. Okay, so it's 5-0. The minutes are passed. Visitors. Do we have visitors who would like to speak to us? So please raise your hand so that we know we're like, yes, you're first. Okay, you know the routine, but I'll remind you. Stand if you can. You get 5 minutes. Name and address first.
Okay, my name is Elsie Tarsi. I live at 1091 Shearbrook Drive in South Russell. And I'm here to speak about the proposed walking path from Route 306 to the park, South Russell Park. And I have spoken previously about it and voiced my opinion that I feel it is a lot of money for something that will be used by few residents in the county. And that if you're going to put a levy on the ballot for this, everybody should be able to benefit from it. And I think looking at previous minutes from council meetings that we will be facing increased costs for fire and ambulance. And I think that is going to maybe end up, I don't know, but it's possible to end up as a levy on the ballot. And I'd rather spend my tax money for that. Plus, Chagrin Falls schools levies always pass. And so your taxes are always going up. But also, I do feel that the money that we're supposed to be getting from NOACA is $800,000. And that money is for all of Geauga County. It's not just for South Russell. And it's supposed to be earmarked for roads and bridges, not. And I think that's another thing that I think is wrong with the walking path, that it's being funded. All of Geauga County is ending up paying for it. And not all of Geauga County is going to use it. So I would ask that we table this and take it off of consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody like to comment? Hearing none. Anybody else would like to speak?
Yeah, we have some
Going once?
back.
Okay, Buffy?
I do a lot of walking up and down and across to the park, and I hear exactly what she's saying, and I support what she's saying. I think the path would only support a tiny bit of South Russell. Wouldn't support a lot of the people east of 306. It wouldn't support a lot of the people further down toward the village. I just think we could spend our tax dollars somewhere else. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Next, Catherine.
Catherine Malmquist, 6 Louise Drive. I also am against this. I don't think it's going to benefit very many of us for the amount of money that you're asking for. I do lead Cleveland Hiking Club people down Bell Road on the section that has walking paths per se. We've never had an incident. I have to say the only incident I've ever had was near Founder's Field, the National Guard Armory. And when we tried to call an ambulance for that person, they didn't know who to send it to. My question is the National Guard Armory Chagrin, South Russell, or Bainbridge?
Bainbridge.
It is Bainbridge, okay. They did finally send Bainbridge, but it was like 15 minutes later, and this person was having a crisis. I'm just saying, I was a little shocked because I thought the National Guard Armory was either Chagrin or South Russell. So
Well, it's a little tricky over there.
It is
Chagrin
very-
Falls owns a lot of the property adjacent to it, but the building itself is in Bainbridge.
Okay, we were in the Founder's, on the road between Founder's Field and National Guard Armory. And it took 15 minutes for an ambulance to be sent to us because they didn't know where we were. And I'm a little shocked that our 911 service cannot figure this out. I couldn't actually figure it out. I kept thinking Chagrin would show up to help us, which was like, what, 3-4 minutes away? It took 15 minutes and this lady was in crisis. So I'm just saying. But it was not on the road. It was in that area.
Thank you. Anyone else like to say anything? Yes? Go-
Sorry.
Yes, name and address.
Tracy Gervino, 1460 Bell Road. I had emailed Ruth shortly after last month's meeting, proposing that maybe we lower the speed limit between Gurney and the park, as opposed to building a dirt path that costs over $1 million. That's it.
Thank you. Sir, you're next.
My name is Donald Mullally. This is my wife Ella. We are at 18 West Bell Meadow Lane. And I would just like to comment, my wife and I both feel strongly with what's being said about the path. And just don't think it really benefits the community. That's all we had to say.
You're for the path.
Against.
Against.
Okay. Yes, sir. Name and address, please.
Howard, Manor Drive. NOACA has no money. We pay them close to $30 million a year, which we've been doing for 30 years. I've been to NOACA meetings downtown. They aren't worth even going to. This was given to me by, I guess, NOACA just a few weeks ago. They have not shown up to the commissioners' meeting at all. There'll be copies here for anybody who would like one. They'll never show up again. Galucci runs the show. All that money has gone to Brook Park to pay for the Brown Stadium. Their roads too. It says here that they gave us $8 million in 2018, not us, Geauga County, for the Amish. There's 41 Amish schools in the county. They have very little help in their bike paths and their buggy paths in front of them. The money is not there. They will not come out to sell it to us here or to the people over in Chardon and tell us what the story is. It's right here. This is their document. I did not make this up. And it's the way that they need to be called to order. NOACA is a non-government agency. There's been no accountability, and we can't even find the single, maybe $2 million a year comes back to us for our roads, Geauga County. I don't think, besides possibly on Bell Street, I don't think NOACA has been involved. Is that okay, Mr. Mayor, that I can say that?
I'll respond when you're finished.
Thank you. Any questions about NOACA? The copies will be here in case you would like them. They do have an internet site. Nothing's on it. And it's a non-government agency. None of them are employed by any government agency. And it's down at Superior Avenue. And it's a large building with a large number of high-priced people. and they don't have the money even to give us the $800,000 per year. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. In 2023, NOACA gave us about $1.09 million to pave Bell Road East. We will use that next year. They also gave us $800,000 to create a trail in the village. That's where the.
Has that money been deposited into the South Russell Bank account yet?
No, we have to, it's a, for the path, the trail, it's an 80-20. Don't
What
pay 80.
about Bell Road out here?
No, I'm not sure as to how, I think basically, we bill, they pay eventually.
Wouldn't it be a good idea to get it all in writing, signed, dated, and documented by somebody that's got some authority to transfer money?
When the time comes
When's the time gonna be, Mr. Mayor?
for Bell Road East, which is basically from Chillicothe to the Newberry line, that'll be sometime in 2027. Should be completed.
Do we have a guarantee from NOACA that the money is there in our account that's gonna go to South Russell? The way they've handled Geauga County, and if you look at this document, you can see none of this money is there.
Well,
2018, they promised that Amish would get more money for the 41 schools. They aren't gonna get it. I'll bring this up again at the commissioners meeting tomorrow in Geauga County, and I'll get the same answer that I think I'm getting right now, which is there is no answer so far.
there will be by the end of 2027 when Bell Road is complete.
Nothing's in writing, Mr. Mayor.
I guess I'll say I'll get back to you on this.
Have
Because
you
we've
ever
been
been
dealing
to a
with them
NOACA
before.
meeting downtown?
What?
We only have 3 representatives on NOACA downtown, plus some other odds and ends. The money's not there, Mr. Mayor, it's not.
I will find out and get back in touch with you.
And would you get it in writing from them? Dated in writing?
I would think so. We've never had a problem dealing with them.
I have a problem with them because I've never seen anything in writing and documented.
Okay, but I'll get something.
But when we do business around here, we write it, we put it down and we pay it correctly. We're dealing with something, I don't know where it even is. Thank you. Excuse me for talking so much, I apologize.
Right, Howard, we do have a signed agreement with NOACA, the mayor signed. You could maybe get a copy of that from the fiscal officer if you'd like.
Is it signed? Can we be provided copies of this signed document?
It's a public document, absolutely.
When can we get a copy, sir?
And you can give me your email address.
Thank you.
The original agreement was signed in 2023, me and with Grace. Which, but as far as when the money comes for Bell Road, I don't have any answer.
These were documents that said that money was supposed to go to Geauga County. It's never showed up.
Okay, I can't handle that. All right, anybody else would like to speak? Going once, twice? All right, next thing on the agenda is the mayor's report. I sent out a mayor's report. There are a couple things, since you're here. We've completed 2 of our 1776 events. The next event that we're thinking about is the 1776 dinner. It's going to be held in August. Also with that in mind, there's also an event being planned for a monarch butterfly release, which Mrs. Kavanaugh will explain later. We're thinking of connecting that event with the ice cream bike ride, which we held last year. So coming up tonight, later on, when we get down to our properties and our activities, that's been discussed and be coming up. Just wanted to let you know that. That will be the third. We have some other events that we're thinking about. Probably the one that may be something to think about is 9/11, the 25th anniversary of 9/11 is coming up. We're thinking about having some sort of remembrance on Thursday, September the 10th. And it's maybe something, if there's interest, to do something beyond South Russell. You know, maybe we have a Chagrin Valley remembrance, something simple, something wouldn't cost anything or very little, but that's being thought about. And I'd love to hear from you, your comments, your opinions on that, on the idea of something for 9/11. All right. All right, any questions about the mayor's report?
Yeah, quick question. In your recap here, you're talking about the Bell Road pathway in the NOACA grant. In your report, it says the grant was a surprise. There had been no previous interaction with NOACA. There was no proposal to NOACA from South Russell Village. No one worked to secure grant funding. In the November 7th, 2019 Chagrin Valley Times, after you were reelected, it said, in looking to the future, Mayor Coon said he'll be presenting his strategic plan 2020 vision for 2030. Chris, could you slow down a little? Sure. In looking to the future, Mayor Coon said he'll be presenting his strategic plan 2020 vision for 2030 to village residents that details overall improvements for the village. One of his goals is to obtain a NOACA grant to put a walking and bike trail on Bell Road from Chillicothe Road. That was November 7th, 2019. You spent a lot of time in NOACA, your time as a mayor. Why don't you just take the victory lap and say you secured the funding for us?
Because I didn't.
Okay, I think
I was surprised as anybody when I got the letter in March of 2023 and there was grants.
I think a reasonable person would say you're lobbying for it in the paper in 2019, and then we get a grant. Hey, I'll stick with your story, but if that's what you
All
want.
right. Any other questions on the mayor's report?
Mayor, you talked about a camp out, I think, in your mayor's report.
Yeah, I didn't find the interest from enough people. I heard a lot of excitement. Yeah, that'd be nice. Would you come? No, so I've given that up. I still,
On the dinner and the movie or something like that?
right now it'd be the dinner and the movie, which of course is gonna be weather related as far as the movie. But right now, I think the issue is just, do we want to do the dinner?
So then you will need an RSVP for that, right?
That was my thought. Set it out at a certain time and then, you know, have the RSVP. My thought is if we needed 25 people minimum by a certain date. Any other questions? Just, please?
As a fundraiser, is that what you're talking about?
No, this would be a free event. This would be part of our 1776 celebration. It would be just basically a 1776 dinner at the pavilion provided by a caterer.
Or we just get a couple food trucks and it would be.
Well, my idea is to make it a 1776. That would be the, you know, maybe not squirrel and rabbit as such. Some, you know, beef, corn, potatoes, something like that.
Maybe why have people RSVP? Why don't you just have a food vendor do that for you and people show up and buy their own?
Well, you could.
Yeah. Just easier for everyone, coordination. I don't know.
Mayor, I brought it up because our next council meeting is August 17th. If we haven't approved funds or what's going on or a plan or something like that, that seems problematical in terms of funding it.
No, the thought is, the other thought with that weekend, the 24th would be the monarch butterfly and the ice cream. 22nd. All right, so then the 21st is when we would hold the dinner.
Does that be after?
So we
the
give
next
another
council
chance,
meeting?
we have another chance to approve or not.
Okay. Do you have will you send us a proposal in addition to what you said in the mayor's report about how this is going to work?
Yes, I can. I did one of the normal proposals, but I can add to it if I have. Yeah.
Mayor, you
The
did,
idea to change the date would make it a bigger weekend.
okay, because the event statement has the dinner on Friday, August 14th.
Yes. That's why we'd move it to the 21st. Monarch Butterfly, and the ice cream on the 22nd.
I think both dates changed is the.
Yeah, we're back at,
Yeah.
we're at the 22nd for the butterfly too. Okay, fiscal officer, now it's yours.
Well, considering I'm admin and I'm gonna be the one having to put this all together, if it's not approved till the August 17th council meeting and it's August 21st, that's not leaving a lot of time. And then it just puts a lot of stress on everybody here and last minute checks, so maybe this can be discussed later in the meeting and decided.
And we could do that, or we could squeeze in another meeting.
So that's all I had on that. But, so I gave my report to everybody. I want you to know that, the basement is, gutted and that project has started. They started construction today and, we believe September 1st, we should have the building department personnel, in his office. And the admin team is very, positive. They're optimistic. They're looking towards, working together. We see a lot of benefits of it. So I think it's gonna be good. The GovWell program is working really well. We got our first payment through the GovWell system today, and we believe it's going to really cut down the foot traffic in that department. Colleen, when she worked for the county and they went from paper to online, their foot traffic cut to 5% of what it had been. So I think over the next year or two, as people get used to it, it's really going to cut down on the foot traffic. But the admin team putting the stuff in, they love the software so far, and everything they see that they need tweaked, they've been either able to call GovWell and they're fixing it on the spot, or Colleen is very computer savvy and she's been able to go in and do some stuff and fix things on her own. So it's really going well.
So it was the first payment with the credit card today? Card payment?
We just got it in our account, so I think it was a credit card, or they could take it directly out of their checking account. But
So just so that people know, we were checks before that. And
these checks are cashed before, so now to go to the building
Modernized.
department, you can go online and pay through credit card.
And this is the building department's plans, things of that nature, contractors.
It's going well, and that's my report. I don't know if anybody had questions.
Yes. Is this the first time income tax has been going down?
In a long time, it is. So in 2023 for this month was the highest at 359,000, and then this year for June we had 235,000. So it's a little bit. It's the first time in a long time that we've had a month below.
So along those lines, in 2025 through June, we collected $1,647,000 approximately. In 2026, we collected $1,614,000. And yeah, again, that's the first time in many years that number is running below last year's average.
And it could be just one person, you never know, but we just have to keep our eye on it always.
Questions of the fiscal officer? Finance committee, you're up.
Okay, finance met on June 11th. We will meet again on July 23rd, that's Thursday at 9 a.m. And that's all I have to report.
Questions of the finance committee? I do have one. Looking at the minutes, the Chagrin Valley Dispatch contract was discussed, and the thought was to have a meeting with them. I connect with them from time to time, and I have a meeting scheduled with the Chagrin Valley Fire Department on August the 10th. Is this going to be a safety issue or a finance issue? I was just going to have a general sit-down breakfast with them. Do we have an agenda that we would like to do, or?
Okay.
I think we should have an agenda and it should be open to the public.
So my understanding was that they were invited to attend the August council meeting.
Yes.
And that they have agreed to come and meet with council at that time.
As the official representative of the Chagrin Valley Fire Department, I invited them to attend our our August meeting, regularly scheduled meeting, so we can, everyone has the opportunity to ask questions. So we're all on the same page, there's no loss in translation. Just has to, first 6 months of the year, call updates, just number of calls, financial update on the department, any capital plans they have for the next few years, and just anything else they think might be relevant for us to talk about or hear about. So they'll be coming 17th? Is that our date?
Which one, 17th or 14th?
August 17th is the next council meeting.
Okay, and I'll scrap my breakfast. Any other questions of the finance committee?
What time do you want that meeting at for finance?
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Solicitor, the floor is yours.
I have nothing to report.
Questions of the solicitor? Hearing none. Engineer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things. One of them's already on the agenda under the Streets Committee section, so I'm gonna wait on that for awarding the 2026 road program to Specialized Construction. The other things, Councilman Bell has asked me a couple of times to reach out and find out what I can as far as pricing on. We've been talking about like what's called a road diet in our Streets Committee meetings. Basically restriping a road so that the lanes are a little bit narrower. It gives the paved shoulder a little bit more room, and it serves to calm traffic. If you have wider open lanes, everybody sees it as a free-for-all and they go. If you constrict the lanes a little bit, it's just a visual reminder of the roads maybe appears a little narrower, even though it's not. Maybe we should slow down a little bit. The prices I've been able to put together for basically keeping the center line, restriping it in the same position it is, and moving the edge lines in. I think we budgeted $25,000 for that. We'd ultimately fall well within that. So just kind of throwing that out there as a budgeting.
You'd received one quote so far?
One, it's tough to get anybody to commit to anything because they're like, "Are you going to shop my price around?" No, I just want to put together money. We'll gladly invite you to put to put a price together for us if we deem we want to move forward. So it's been a little bit pulling teeth to get a firm price from a striping contractor.
It'd be more advantageous to go to bid for something like that.
I think we should just include it. We do an annual striping program, yeah.
Yep.
Just include it in the scope of the annual striping program. And like a separate, like an alternate A, something that we could choose to award or not.
If you could share with those in attendance, what would change the width of the paths, the shoulders on Bell Road East?
Currently
West, Bell Road West.
Bell Road West, edge of pavement to edge of pavement is about 30 feet. The traveled lanes currently are striped at 11 feet. We're looking at squeezing the edges in so that the lanes are striped at 10 feet. Still allows, if a semi needs to go down there, there's still plenty of room. Semis are, I think, 8.5 feet wide. We don't get a lot of big vehicle traffic down Bell Road typically. I know like Gurney School gets some deliveries, but that's a short section between 306 and Gurney School.
Typical interstate.
Typical interstate's 12 feet. So
we're not going 65 miles an hour.
We're not going 65 miles an hour.
Shouldn't.
Just as a personal reference, I live on a street that's 45 miles an hour. It's a rural road in northern Geauga. My whole road is 20 feet wide and the lanes are 9.5 feet wide, and there's still plenty of room to get down the road. So I think if we move to a 10-foot wide lane width, it's just striping. So if we stripe it and it helps to calm traffic, it gives the people on the shoulder an extra foot of room, which is huge. It would bump paved shoulder room from current 4 feet to 5 feet. So it's worth a try.
And that road needs to be striped.
And the road needs to be striped anyhow. So it would be my recommendation for Streets Committee and ultimately council to consider that. And if you want to consider about a $25,000 budget amount for that, I think it should be sufficient.
Thank you.
Next up.
Hold on. Joe, can you give your name and address? Because if we do the minutes, it'll pick up some strange voice there.
Gotcha.
Joe Pianecki, 71 Pawpaw Lake Drive.
Back to you, Art.
Next up on my agenda is, I sent out a memo to Streets Committee and Public Utilities Committee this afternoon. Our fiscal officer was kind enough to intercept that and print it out for everyone. It's regarding the Hazelwood storm sewer. We've got about 80% of our survey data collection completed for the design of the upcoming Hazelwood storm sewer and pavement replacement project. We need a little bit of help from the village. It's probably gonna fall on our streets commissioner's plate. We're unable to open and or access a lot of the existing small diameter inlet basins, mostly on the north side of Hazelwood. That's what I got. That's the feedback I got from our survey crews. It's really important that we have access to those and have them like factored out, because the last thing I want to do is run a new storm sewer down the road and not know that, someone's house was tied in at a certain size and at a certain angle. So if we can open all of those inlet basins and physically look down them, get a survey rod down, get elevations and pipe sizes, it'll just lead to a much more comprehensive and inclusive design. So we don't have the field changes to, tie somebody in at the last minute, or heaven forbid, we don't know that someone has a connection out there and we just run the sewer right on by and it leaves them with nothing. So I'm just asking for a little help with that. Also, there's a couple of properties right at the Hazelwood and Fairview intersection. The one is 134 Fairview. It's on the southeast quadrant of that intersection. It's the property with the pond on it. Interestingly, we believe that there's an active storm sewer on Hazelwood that empties into that pond. And we have reason to believe that there may be some sort of outlet structure on the west end of that pond. But the vegetation is so thick around the pond, just the brush, that our surveyors couldn't get in there with an instrument, and it was on private property anyhow. So we're not allowed. So I'm asking the village to reach out to that property owner and hopefully they'll allow us, A, to get onto the property so we can check out the configuration of that pond, and B, to clear a couple little sections. I included an exhibit of an example of just small, just a few feet wide, enough to get a guy with a couple instruments into there to the edge of the water and take a look at things. So if the village could help facilitate that, I would be very grateful, and my survey crew would be as well. And the third would be a similar request just for access for data collection on 137 Hazelwood, 139 Hazelwood, and 600 Hemlock. I know the village has a standard temporary work agreement that I think would be a suitable use for that access and data collection. One of the things that was brought up to me by our design team that's working on putting the plans together was we believe there's currently a storm sewer that may not even be functioning anymore, but they think it's there, that runs kind of in the low area through 137, mostly 137 Hazelwood. It's the property owner.
37 Fairview.
Fairview, sorry, thank you, Ruth. The property owner that currently suffers when the pond overflows. It all flows through his side yard and down to the ravine in the back. I think there's pipe under there, and the homeowner, I think, Mark, you were out when we met with that homeowner a couple of years ago, also believed that there was a pipe underground there. Maybe we explore a more permanent easement over that and align the new sewer to more closely match the old with a permanent easement. That was just we haven't made it that far in design, so I don't know if an easement is even necessary, but it would certainly be a useful option to have if that homeowner was willing to consider a 20-foot wide storm sewer easement along their northern property boundary. So that's kind of in that memo as well.
So solicitor would do the paperwork, street commissioner would do
The actual work.
The actual work.
Yeah, sorry, Tim.
What's the timeline? I mean, is this something we can have in our August meeting? Paperwork to start on that?
You already have the paperwork. You just send out a work agreement.
Okay.
Talk to the homeowner, say, hey, we need to access, or we would like to access your property to do, you know, these things. Data collection right now. And if they say, yeah, sure, just get a signature on the work agreement and we can get it done.
You're comfortable with the present work agreement for something like this?
Yes,
Okay.
and I can
Mayor,
definitely.
do you want to reach out to these homeowners first and then Tim Young follow up?
That would be preferable. So if there's somebody on council or mayor, if it's you, that has a little bit of, you know, history or relationship with these property owners to kind of broach the subject softly with them first, that would be most helpful.
We will get that done this week.
Awesome, thank you.
Have a couple people that are good.
So I have
I'll
a
talk to
question, Eric, I'm sorry, am I
Yeah,
gonna?
go ahead.
Do you think that this difference in size is all the way down Hazelwood?
Oh, Ruth, the Hazelwood is from the data that we've been able to collect so far on Hazelwood, it's kind of a hodgepodge. It's kind of a mess. There are storm sewers I'm saying storm sewers loosely, enclosed ditches.
Yeah.
Various pipe sizes, various materials on both sides of the road. What we're looking at doing is installing a new properly sized storm sewer on one side of the road or the other. I don't know what the design team is gonna recommend yet. That allows everyone to tie in and gives everyone just a higher level of service and prevents a lot of the flooding and overland flow issues that they've been experiencing for years.
So
I
then
think it's been a long time coming.
where's gas, where's the?
We're working on all of that. We've got hoops tickets pulled. So we're getting all of the existing infrastructure and utilities all put together in layers so we can determine, you know, the best alignment for a new storm sewer on there.
That thing was platted in maybe 31.
It's one of the oldest, I think it's one of the oldest platted subdivisions in the village, if I'm not mistaken.
So they're gonna have problems.
It's correct. They're having problems now. It's a challenge. Our surveyor guys had some choice comments about like, what is going on out here? It's just a hodgepodge of close to 100 years of people putting pipes underground, and we're trying to find them all. So that's where we're at.
Okay, so we will approach people in the area this week. If we have questions, when we have questions, we go to you or
Oh, sure, and if you want me to come out on, you know, for the door knock and the walkthrough to, you know, discuss this with a couple of residents that we would like to get access to their properties with, I would be happy to join you. I mean,
they have a semi HOA.
I know.
So we could work with them before you come out. Okay, we'll figure this out, the three of us.
Yeah, but our surveyors are just, they've been asking, hey, can we get agreements to like get onto these properties, because we're kind of dying to know what's going on there. And unfortunately, the existing storm sewer veers out of the right of way, and it is on private property. So we would just like to figure out what it is and what we need to do to accommodate it.
Okay.
I have a question. Is any of that property in Russell?
Oh, hang on.
Sorry.
No.
Allison Dean, 920 Bell Road.
All right, go ahead, Al.
It's all in the village.
Okay, even that pond.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's a cutoff right there.
There is, and it's close.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it's all in the village.
Thank you.
Janice Hill, what was your address on Fairview when you were a kid?
122.
Oh, so you were way up south end.
My parents bought there at 52.
Okay, we were at the engineer, you're still on?
Yeah, one more thing, quick. We had a little delegation go to the county engineer's office, Daniel's a couple weeks ago, and meet with them regarding our MRF funding request for Bell Road East. And I had put together a funding application or funding request form for $40,245, because at the time that I put this together, that's what we believed we kind of had banked in the MRF fund. They have since let us, the county engineer's office and the Geauga County Commissioner's office has since let us know that the number is closer to $72,000 or $73,000. That we would be safe asking for that. So, which is good news. I'll resubmit this application. Interestingly, they also let us know that we're not necessarily limited to the amount of money that is, quote unquote, banked there for us. So if council is okay with it, I'm gonna ask for $100,000. And they said that they wouldn't reject our application out of hand, that if they couldn't facilitate our request, they would come back with a counteroffer. So let's shoot high. I would ask for 100,000 and see where the cards fall. It's county money that's available for improving certain roads within the village. And every incorporated municipality in the county has access to these funds.
This is connector roads you're talking about.
It's connector roads. And Mark, interestingly, they also let us know that if we could make a case for another street that wasn't necessarily identified as a connector road, we currently only have Bell Road, Daisy, and Snyder. Those are the three traditionally that we've been able to access those funds for improvement.
Washington Street.
Okay, short section of
Small
Washington, right. They also let us know that if we could make a strong enough case for a road that may not be on there, labeled as a connector, that they might be willing to fund that if our case was strong enough.
Leave you those?
Maybe.
I think they gave the example more along the lines, if you had a main road with like a bunch of cul-de-sacs off it, to get those cul-de-sacs to be able to get to the main road, they would need that road in between, so that could potentially be considered a connector road.
So Sherbrooke, Kensington
Potentially.
Drive,
Potentially.
there's a bunch of them.
So,
Kensington would be, yeah, Manor Brook. Just throwing it out there.
So solicitor, do we need a motion to authorize the engineer?
Sure, we could do that.
To ask for more money? Sure.
Sure. So I make the motion that council authorize the engineer to submit a proposal to Geauga County. I believe it's to the engineer's office, it's the
County Commissioner's
County
office.
Commissioner's
Copying
office.
the engineer.
Thank you. Copying the engineer for release of funds in the amount of $100,000 related to the MRF program.
For Bell Road East.
For Bell Road East. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Thank you, council. That's all I have now that I've taken up all your time.
Questions of the engineer?
Can you tell us about Sugar Bush, Eric?
I can't. I don't have an update on that.
An update from CMG about the dredging for
Tim.
Sugar Bush?
Do you have anything that?
I talked to him the other day about it, and he's still looking at beginning of August.
Beginning of August? Okay.
All right, street commissioner, the floor is yours.
So I submitted my month-end report. I don't know if anybody has any questions for it on that. We are currently working on a few projects around the villages. You may have noticed, we're back onto Maple Hill after we got the bocce court, good run on it, for the last few weeks. So we're waiting for the hard surface material to show and get that arranged and show up, then we can wrap that up. We'll then finish grade, seed, and have it ready hopefully in green for Fall Fest. The Hemlock or Fairview Hazelwood project here, we'll probably start pulling the rates and cleaning out that kind of stuff beginning next week, only because this week's already kind of planned out and ready to go.
That would be great.
And so we'll get at that end of it for us. Everything else seems to be moving pretty smoothly. We started tuck pointing and working on the columns on the garage at the red brick columns, so those are also in motion.
I saw somebody laying down doing that today. Who was that?
That was Jeff. I was working on them, and I think he's just about wrapped up one column today, and he'll hopefully move along and do the same tomorrow, wrap up, depending on the damage.
Could you comment on the Rarick Cemetery fence project?
I cannot at the moment. I was going to actually address that with the people the other day. I did walk up to the cemetery and walk the area and kind of get another look at it all, and I did notice that their house kind of has wrapped down a little bit as far as, I think, their festivities. So now that everything's settled down, I'm gonna reapproach them about that and hopefully move forward very soon as well.
Is the bocce court complete or still have some work to do?
So we have the bocce court, as I was saying, I have contacted a supplier for the hard surface, and then he's going to order that material. It'll be like 4 tons of material. He hasn't provided a price just yet, and kind of going through those motions. The bulk of the fill dirt has been hauled in and set, so we have to do some, fine tuning to make sure that those grades are friendly for everyone to make up and down and move around.
It's just gonna be seated around it, is that?
Yeah, we'll just seat it, we'll pour a pad about halfway down the length of the court for the picnic table that we got, I believe, on a grant a number of years ago. The picnic table was in the back room, it's now by the service garage. There, we'll put that out there as well, and hopefully wrap that up.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a completion date for that, Tim?
It's kind of falling on the surface material. The rest of it is now we're to the point where I don't want to put a lot of effort into finish grading and seeding and then tromp through to put the material onto the court. I'd rather finish the court out and then back our way out of it, so we're not.
Do you think people will be able to play bocce at the fall festival?
I am really hopeful.
I think the bocce girls maybe want to put on a no, I'm just teasing.
Questions of the street commissioner?
Yeah, Tim, you provided to me 2 quotes for the concrete pad outside of the salt barn, the driveway.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure if council's aware, the low quote was $68,000 to add concrete padding around, and please describe the area that.
So I'm still waiting for a third quote. That's why it hasn't kind of addressed everyone, or everybody hasn't seen it. So what Mike and I had looked at it, and watching the construction coming through as it is already, with the amount of truck traffic that has already moved onto that driveway, it is falling apart. It is failing. So we talked about it and suggested maybe, hey, we should probably do something with this now, because as we haul in 80,000-pound truckloads of salt all winter long, when it is soft and mushy, it's really going to fail. And Mike had pointed out history of when they paved it, the paver actually got stuck, and they had to pull the machine out in that driveway as well. So I don't think it's a question of if it will fail. I think it's like when it will fail. And so we looked at it and kind of came up with the idea, and I think Councilman Bell was there for that as well. The front edge of the concrete located in front of the drone garage to the back edge of the concrete in front of the old salt building, replacing that section full width of the driveway now with matching concrete to what is around the salt structure, which I believe is going to be an 8-inch pour. That'll hold up to the truck traffic. And it's not so much, the failing isn't going to really be as much as the trucks just driving through. It's the twisting motion of that is what will really kind of damage it. So the contractor happened to be there that day, and we talked with him for a minute about it. And he had said, honestly, while we're here, it's always going to be the cheapest time for us to be able to do it because we're here. We're already on site. We're already in motion. So,
is he the low quote?
At the
Yeah,
moment.
at the moment, yes, at the moment.
There's still
We still have somebody, another quote.
others to come.
Yeah, right.
Other thing to consider is if you're looking at the new salt barn, I don't know how it's looking this way, but it appears to be sloped toward the driveway for fall. And I think it's going to push that water into that gap between the asphalt driveway and the concrete. You may have a problem anyway in the very near future if that's the way it drains.
Okay, any other questions of the street commission? While we're talking about the Butchie Court, Muffy, September the 8th, 6:30. We'd like to have a congratulatory picture taken.
Wait, Sadie, I couldn't hear you.
Tuesday, September the 8th, 6:30. If you could get your two other associates to come to our picture at the Bocce Ball
They're
Court.
right here, just ask them.
Tuesday, 6:30, the sun will still be shining. It'll be a nice day. We'd like,
I think we can can we do it?
good, all right.
So
Street committee, you're up.
before you go forward,
Well, hang on.
we have the newspaper here. Maybe they want to take a picture too.
Street committee,
Okay, street committee, we met on July 16th. We discussed we went out to bid for the swap loader truck. We received no bids. We did receive something unsolicited via email, which we cannot accept from a dealership. As a committee, we decided to move forward with the Sourcewell pricing. The street commissioner is going to see there's a possibility a 2027 truck could be available for the same price as a 26. If that's the case, we'll move forward through Sourcewell for the 27. If not, we'll move forward with the 26 through Sourcewell. That's where we stand right now. We'll be back with some more information in the near future, hopefully by our next meeting in August. Speaking of meetings, our next committee meeting is August 6th at 5:30 PM. We have for public utilities. So you guys are on the same page, and Eric, we decided to stick with the first Thursday of the month. Okay. 5:30
August
streets.
6th works well for me.
Okay, so streets 5:30 and public utilities at 6:30. That'd be my plan. Yeah. Also, it is the recommendation of the Streets Committee that we award the 2026 road program to Specialized Construction. They were the low bid for $274,766.10. That'll pave Waverly Lane. Also take care of the aprons on Bell Road East for those who choose to have their culvert pipes replaced in preparation for the Bell Road repaving next year. And maybe leave some left over for some repair work throughout the village if we still have funds available after that. Is it a motion or an ordinance?
Say that again.
Is it a motion or an ordinance to accept? It's a motion. All right, I'd like to make a motion to recommend awarding the 2026 road program contract to Specialized Construction in the amount of $274,766.10. So moved.
second, moved and second, who wants, good. All right, Mary or Chris? Yeah, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Related, we got a notification from NOACA / Ohio Department of Transportation that if we are to move forward with the funds for a trail project, that they would like to move it to state fiscal year 2029, which I believe begins July 1, 2028. Pending any comments from my fellow committee members, that's all I have.
Questions of the street committee?
Motion for that, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion to move the trail project to fiscal year 2029. Can we get that motion?
Should we make a motion if we're not sure if we're gonna do it?
We don't need to do it tonight, but at some point.
Okay, I'd like to
Well,
make.
we need to do it before the next meeting because the Board of Elections deadline.
Well, this is different.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is, no, this is just saying if we were to do it, we could not do it until state fiscal year 2029 to use those $800,000 in state funding. Which is July 128 through June 30, 29. So I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation from NOACA and Ohio Department of Transportation to move the trail project to state fiscal year 2029 if we choose to move forward.
Been moved,
A second.
second, discussion?
Roll call.
Roll
Renzel,
call, please, okay.
Bell?
Aye.
Berger?
Aye.
Canton?
Nay.
Kavanaugh?
Aye.
Porter?
Motion passes 5-1. Anything else on the street committee?
Nothing from me.
Question, on that meeting that occurred on June 24th, where they recommended that we move this project 1 year back, there was also a whole paragraph. Now, I was not there. I think the solicitor and fiscal officer were there, and Mary was listening. They pretty much, I think, put a shot across our bow saying, if you don't get moving on this project, money can be taken and given to other programs. I don't have the exact wording, but that's the impression I had. That by reading what they said, you better get moving.
Well, that's the thing, that's why they can't do it in 2027, we'll never meet those timelines. So if you push it to 2029, which is 2028 for us, there is a potential, but depending on, they wanna know what's decided tonight, if it goes on a levy, is gonna go on the ballot or not, because if we're not gonna use those funds, then somebody else could use those funds.
Okay. We were at the building committee.
Buildings met on July 13th. Some of the things we discussed was appointing another person to Architectural Board of Review tonight. And we have, Danielle and the solicitor have done the prep work for that, so that will come down the road. Danielle already said that GovWell system is not only on, but going, and we need to compliment both Ruth Griswold and Colleen Lair, because they have worked very hard to bring stuff that had not been loaded on the computer. They've done this in these last few weeks, and evidently have worked like beavers to get
Well,
this.
all four of the admin have been doing it, and they're doing very well.
And the other admins as well, I'm sorry. Something that I need to be sure of, the solar checklist that the mayor brought, we need to get that in our zoning code, and that is top of my calendar for buildings. We also need to update our fees, not that we want to charge our residents more money, but we lose money anytime we ask for paperwork for remodel and building, et cetera. The salt building, I think the street commissioner can cover that better than I can. If you want to give it a few words as far as close to completion.
So the salt building is the building itself is ready. They are working on pouring. They were grading today. Hopefully their schedule is to pour on Thursday, the inside of the structure, and then progressively move out and around.
We had concerns last month that
They're all resolved.
some things were not done right, and they've all, we.
Everything is resolved.
What's the X?
So the X is, the engineer required some cross bracing that he would like to see added to it.
Just
So they
between
install.
two of those, just between two of
Correct,
those?
one on each side of the building is all he was required.
That doesn't seem like it would offer a whole lot of support.
Didn't give me either, but the structural engineer has the know to say this is what we need. Which it seems like, oh, we're losing a bay on each side. It actually, in reality, for usability on your hands works out, because we can use that for stuff that bay area for storage of things that we don't access regularly, so it works well. Yes.
Any other thing for the building?
Yeah, some things we discussed at the meeting on the 13th, where we have a couple of properties on Bell Road that have been approached multiple times by our building, what do we call it, Dave Westfire? Our building.
Inspector.
Zoning, and they have been non-compliant and not responded. So Mayor, I think you said you would contact the police prosecutor and get that rolling. And I look forward to it, and I'm sorry, I don't have a date set, but Mark and Jerry, does August 10th, which is a Monday morning, look good to you at 8 a.m. for a building meeting?
That's fine.
I have to be in court. Can we do it on the 13th? I'm sorry, the 12th?
Sure.
Is that okay with you, Jerry?
Sure.
Okay,
August 13th at what time?
8 AM, nice and early, because Mark needs to go to work.
So the 13th, which is Thursday.
No, 13th or 12th, you said 12th.
Jerry said the 13th. That's why I
Jerry,
asked you.
Jerry.
What date
12th.
is it?
August 12th, a Wednesday. Does that work?
Perfect.
Thank you.
8 AM.
8 AM. Danielle, did you get that? Or I can,
Don't you have a meeting scheduled July 29th?
oh, take that one off, because I think we did that in,
You
it
moved that
was
one
to
around.
see how things were going, like how our new,
Alright, so cancel 29th, go with.
thank you for bringing that up. That's it for buildings.
Questions of the building committee? Ally, you have a question?
Yeah, Ruth, you said there was a fee increase for the.
There isn't yet, but our fees, for example, when Dave Postfar goes out to inspect the property and XYZ is not correct, that's one fee. I don't even know what that is. $50, but if he has to say, please change this, or this doesn't meet code, and he has to go back, there's no bill for that, but he's spending his time doing it. So it's almost like a carrot and stick, let's get it right the first time.
And he's billing us.
And he is billing us, he's working, which is deserved. So that's all that is. And I did see you're doing stuff in your backyard, don't worry, it's not gonna get you, girl.
I know about fees.
That's it for buildings.
Are you, questions of the building? Okay, two things. First of all, some good news. We're having a potluck for Ruth Griswold. She's our building department employee. She'll be leaving us next Friday. The potluck is this Friday at noon. Ham and baked beans are guaranteed. Anything else, you're on your own. So you're all welcome to come to this potluck for Ruth. Secondly, on the people, the people that we've had trouble with, we've gone to court twice and we've lost in court twice. So our recommendation is we gather, solicit letters of complaint from residents about this particular situation. And I'm not going to go through the situation, but if you have a complaint or something, we need letters of support that, hey, this is an eyesore, that this should be taken care of. Okay, one other thing. I know some of you have other obligations. I thank you all for coming. I'm not trying to get rid of you. You know, the meeting is going to go on, but it is 8 o'clock. I know a couple of you got kids to need to put to bed. I would encourage you all to contact me. I am very much in favor of the path. I have been trying to hold court at the farmer's market on Saturday mornings. I call it Coffee with the Mayor. I'll buy you something to drink and like to hear your opinions. I just think the idea of promoting safe travel in South Russell can be done. Maybe it's not the way we have it right now, but I just want to let you know. I started on 16 years ago. Steve Latkovic had a committee started by Mayor Brett. We were called the Safe Routes, not before Safe Routes, pardon me, multi-purpose trail. And we met for 3 years. And then finally in 2014, we got 40 inches on either side of Bell. But just want to let you know, I thank you all for coming. I don't disagree with you, but I think there are things that we could do.
Last 2 meetings ago, you said you guys were making a vote whether this would go to ballot or not at one of these meetings. So this is the end. I mean, this is last meeting before that decision has to be made. So what is the deal? Like, what's going on there?
It's on the agenda. It's the first item on the agenda under ordinances and resolutions.
It's at the bottom of the page that you should have in
Will
front
there
of
be
you.
discussion from us, invite discussion from this crowd or not?
Heard from the public quite a bit. I think council's gonna vote first, motion to untable it and then vote on it. So if you wanna stick around for that, certainly welcome to do that.
And then the other thing I didn't hear any follow-up on is, Chris, we've had the last meeting, you said you were looking into adjusting Bell Road so that one side had more
Right, so that's kind of what the engineer was talking about, but we're gonna actually, we won't do it on one side, because
So that was the compromise.
right, because having one side makes
Because I know
us,
it's watershed issues too. so-
makes us nervous if it's on one side, because someone's back is to traffic. In theory, if you're following the safety town rules, you're walking towards traffic.
Fair enough.
But this would expand it from 40 inches to 56 inches, which
Okay.
I think is a good compromise and a good first step.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
And contrary to what the mayor just said, I did not hear anybody being pro putting the bike path in, not even a bike path, it's a walking path, it's not a bike path. So when you said, oh, I hear so much about how people want this path, I'm sorry, but I only heard negative things tonight. So I want you guys to understand, I think a lot of people in this community are not for this. Even though the mayor said he's heard a lot about it.
No, I'm,
You did.
I'm, no, I'm.
You did, I will quote you, and you said,
Yes. We had 65% of the people.
that
That's
was
the survey.
before you really told us the cost and what it would do to the neighborhoods around here. Taking how much of our fence line, how much of our woods, how much of our bushes and plantings. That's a lot. That is not what you proposed originally in your survey.
Okay, I'll take credit for the survey too.
What is the proposed
Um,
solution for biking though?
Just a second. Catherine,
Yes.
hopefully talk to you Saturday morning.
I'm actually
You're hiking.
volunteering at South Franklin Circle on Saturday mornings. I'm sorry, that's why I'm not even at
Okay,
the
I don't want
farmer's
to waste a
market.
lot,
Sorry
lot of
about that.
time. Don't want to have this.
Yeah.
Ally will get a question.
Yeah, what is the proposed solution? You said safer, but you're gonna have to take the bike lanes out in order to put the path in. And you
No,
can't bike on the path.
I guess I don't want to get into the debate. I think there's things that can be done.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe in this. I believe it can be done, and there's ways it can do it. It's not gonna ruin people's front yards. It's not gonna cost a lot of money. So
Unbelievable.
at this point, I'm not gonna have another debate. I encourage you to come and see me Saturday. Chief, the floor is yours.
I submitted a month-end report.
Not voting?
No, we're moving.
We'll get to that later in the agenda. Our meeting's not over.
Chief's got the floor.
Is it this,
Is it very
is this it?
Wait one second.
Yes.
I submitted a month-end report, and that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them.
Questions of the chief. Chief, 771 crashes in Geauga County in the first 6 months.
Got it. So I added a little spreadsheet to my report showing the number of crashes in Geauga County, all of Geauga County for the last 5 years. I'm happy to report South Russell averages about 1.2% of all the accidents in Geauga County. So those are great numbers, and I'm very proud of that. We have a pretty safe record in Geauga County.
So about 8 crashes.
Yeah, we're
in South Russell.
right now, this year, we have 8 crashes for the year. So right now, Geauga County has 771, we have 8. That's equating to 1.04%. Over the last 5 years, it averages to 1.2%, 1.26% over 5 years.
Okay, any other questions of the police chief? Chief had to be your shortest report ever, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Safety committee, you're
Question
up.
over here, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Chief, would you reflect a bit upon the interview we had the other day for police officer?
Yeah, so we are asking council today to consider an appointment of a officer or a candidate that we interviewed for a full-time position. So since January, we've been trying to fill 2 full-time positions. We have a good candidate. He is currently on a couple different lists. Great interview the other day, and we would like to ask council to potentially make an appointment contingent upon the successful completion of background and pre-employment testing.
Okay,
Stop, I need to stop. The appointment's gotta come from mayor, and I'm not ready to do that until this man finishes all the testing, so.
Okay, well, we're in a little bit of a pickle here because we've been short for quite a few months, but that's the only reason we were trying to bring it to the table tonight.
At our last safety meeting, you mentioned that you were going to be getting in touch with him. Did you do that?
Yes,
What was his reaction?
he was accepting of the conditional offer.
Excellent, very good.
So
I was
we're-
very, as chair of the safety committee, I was very impressed with the interview. And looking forward to have him as part of our police department. That's all I have. Our next meeting will be in August, date to be determined.
A question now.
Do I understand this? Could we go ahead and
Yeah, sorry, you have to leave those open.
Leave them open.
You can ask
at least part way,
Just trying to cut the volume, sorry.
we can't go ahead and do with pending outcome of results?
We were hoping to do something like that tonight if, you know, you
But we
guys
don't
were
have
up
all
for
the
it.
tests, we don't have all the information on it.
It's all contingent on that, so
So
we
we
made,
need a contingency.
right,
The mayor has a
Solicitor.
point,
he has to,
and council confirms or rejects. So the mayor is saying he's not going to appoint tonight. Therefore, council has nothing to affirm or reject.
Solicitor, I could make an appointment, but I hate to make it contingent on, he's not finished with the process yet. I don't wanna lose him, because he's a good candidate.
yeah, we're
But I don't
concerned
wanna-
that he may get hired elsewhere.
We've done appointments for police officers by the mayor contingent upon passing drug screens, psychological screens, all these other things. If you're not comfortable with the candidates, then you shouldn't do anything. But if you are, then you can appoint him subject to completing the pre-employment testing that you mentioned.
You met him?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Bill was,
We
Bill was
wouldn't have
at the
to-
interview.
Just making
We
sure.
have to wait till the next council meeting to swear him in.
All right, so we're not walking into trouble by a point tonight contingent on passing the other test, but the other,
It's pre-employment testing.
Correct. And you would be making the appointment, the council, it sounds like, would be affirming, so.
okay, so we could do it on
Condition is
contingent.
there, I think that everyone.
And just as a follow-up question, you could make his start date after you get everything back.
Correct, so what would happen is once we get completed with everything, the mayor could swear him in at any time. And then if we want to formally do it at the next council meeting with family, friends, we can do that as a formality. But in order to secure him, I thought this would be the best.
Chief,
course.
I have no problem with that. He was an excellent candidate. The problem is I left his paperwork at home and I forgot his name.
Matthew Politzer.
Okay, all right. I'd like to appoint Matthew Politzer. Oh, it's already written out here, okay. Motion to appoint Matthew Politzer to the open full-time.
No, you're not making a
you
motion.
appoint.
You're appointing him, and then council by motion accepts or rejects him.
All right, I would like to appoint Matthew Politzer to the open full-time patrol officer position effective upon successful completion of pre-employment requirements. Now, so safety,
Okay.
there we go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I did not see that email.
At this time, I would like to make a motion that council vote and approve the hiring of Matthew L. Pulitzer as a member of the South Russell Police Department.
Second.
Wait a minute. Okay, second.
It's been seconded.
Okay, now,
It's been moved and seconded.
discussion.
Yes.
Discussion.
Okay, amendment to the motion effective upon the successful completion of pre-employment requirements.
He said that.
He said it, we did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Chief, have we dotted all the
You
i's?
do now.
Crossed the t. Solicitor, we're okay here.
You
All
have to
right,
vote.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Matthew Zars.
Thank you very much. Other than
All
that,
right, Safety Committee, anything else?
That's it?
All right, HR Committee.
HR met this morning on July 20th. They will meet again on August 17th at 8 a.m. Turn the floor over to Chris Bell.
At our last council meeting, the mayor made some remarks about staff, and it's unfortunately caused some issues within the village infrastructure. A lot of employees have expressed frustration to council members or their direct managers. Subsequently, the fiscal officer and the police chief submitted a letter to council and the mayor, and I have been asked to read it into the record of this meeting, so I will do so now. Dear elected officials, we are compelled to respond to a recent characterization of our workforce as employees who, quote, sit in air-conditioned offices, seldom get dirty, seldom face danger, sit in a nice chair, and work standard hours, end quote. The description is not only inaccurate, but is also deeply disappointing, disrespectful, and offensive to the employees who dedicate themselves every day to serving the village. The statement minimizes the realities of our work, dismisses the challenges we face, and creates an unnecessary divide between departments. Being oblivious to the fact that many of us routinely work beyond standard hours, respond to emergencies and unexpected situations, and carry responsibilities that extend far beyond simply sitting at a desk is deeply troubling. Even when our work takes place in an office environment, it requires constant attention, problem solving, accountability, and the ability to handle stressful situations that directly affect the organization and the residents we serve. The suggestion that our jobs are easy because we may work indoors or have access to basic workplace comforts is both disrespectful and insulting. The value of an employee's contribution should not be measured by whether they sit in a chair, work in a climate-controlled environment, or return home with dirt on their clothes. The members of this organization contribute in meaningful ways that are essential to the success of the village. What is most troubling is the divisive nature of these remarks. No one has ever indicated that the service department labor force is inferior in any way. Rather than recognizing the unique challenges faced by different departments, the statement appears to pit one segment of the workforce against another. Every employee has different responsibilities, pressures, and demands, and all deserve to be treated with respect and appreciation. The comments also raise a broader concern regarding the apparent lack of recognition for the contributions made by the majority of the workforce. While the mayor gives considerable attention and acknowledgement to the service department, the efforts of many other employees appear to be overlooked or minimized. The success of the village is not the result of one department alone. It is achieved through the collective efforts of employees across all departments who work diligently, often behind the scenes, to ensure operations run effectively and efficiently. When leadership repeatedly highlights and rewards one group while characterizing others as employees who merely sit comfortably in offices, it creates the perception that some contributions are valued more than others. Whether intentional or not, this perception damages morale, fosters resentment, and undermines the sense of teamwork that is essential to a healthy work environment. We believe employees should be able to expect constructive and respectful dialogue from leadership, not comments that diminish their work or question their commitment. Statements such as these damage morale, undermine trust, and foster resentment among employees who work hard every day to fulfill their duties. To make such inaccurate and offensive comments in order to make a case for administrative assistance for a particular employee should never have been pitched in such a way. We implore you to do your homework and seek the true facts in this case. We firmly believe the manner in which this topic was introduced was to conceal what is truly happening behind the curtain. We respectfully request that the contributions of all employees be acknowledged fairly and accurately. Regardless of job title, work location, or working conditions, every member of this organization deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, and professionalism. Additionally, we believe an apology is warranted. To make such a statement about your workforce in a public meeting was highly inappropriate. Employees deserve acknowledgement that these comments were inappropriate, dismissive, and harmful to workplace morale. A sincere apology, coupled with a commitment to recognize and respect the contributions of all employees equally, would be an important step towards restoring trust and reinforcing the principle that every employee's work is valued. Respectfully, Chief Michael Rizzo, Fiscal Officer Daniel Romanowski.
Councilman Cannon.
Now, if I may add a few points. I was not present last month's meeting. My wife and I were out of state. I did view the proceedings from our hotel room. Mary said a few things that offended our employees. This might be an opportunity to either modify and apologize what was said. What say you?
My initial statement is that I was looking for a win-win situation with the people who work mostly physical, or people who work mostly mental, are treated equally. I do not intend to offend. I intended to have a win-win situation. I planned my remarks. I wrote them down. I rehearsed them because I felt they were coming from the heart. There was no intention to hurt anyone's feelings. I think the female employees, let's talk about the female employees. In April, provided each one of them with a hanging plant, just saying, thank you for your work. For the fire department, for the police department, I've been heavily involved and honor our first responders. So I don't think there has been any intent. In fact, I think I've demonstrated the ability to appreciate what they do. And I have been trying to be fair to everybody. Do I sometimes slip? I'm sure I do. I have no intention to hurt anybody's feelings, to insult anybody. Maybe my methods weren't the best, but I felt I was trying to do what was best for the village, which is the only thing I really do, is to do what's best for the village. If I tripped up on this time, I did, and I'm sorry. But I had no malice, no intention to hurt anyone. In a sense, I've had a demonstration of appreciation for the first responders and for our, used to be back in the day, Secretary's Day, to make sure those people are recognized. So I've tried to demonstrate what to do what is best. Maybe I slipped up on this time, but there was no malice, no intent to hurt anyone's feelings. I've been with some of these people for over 20 years. So I think they know me by what I believe in and what I want to do for the village.
Okay, this morning, the Human Resources Committee made a commitment to make a statement on this issue. I'll read that into the record. In response to comments made by the mayor on 15 June 2026, addressing village employees, we state for the record, 1, this committee categorically rejects the mayor's statements addressing the police and administrative departments as being, quote, desk jobs, unquote, in, quote, air conditioning, unquote, and implying that the level of effort required of these employees is less than that of others. 2, this committee finds the mayor's statements to be divisive and disrespectful to all village employees and contrary to promoting the good order of the village in accomplishing its goals. 3, the committee finds that in a subsequent meeting with some but not all employees, the mayor attempted to explain his comments but did not apologize for them. This committee calls on the mayor in the strongest possible terms to issue an immediate apology to all employees for such statements. 4, this committee acknowledges the value of all village employees and offers each and every one the firm, resolute support of all the committee members in the performance of their respective and respected jobs. Respectfully submitted, Christopher J. Berger.
Chris, just a comment on the mayor's comments. I'd just like to point out, and some people may disagree with me because they feel they're more old school, whatever, but in 2026, singling out a member of a group is calling them the ladies and bringing them flowers because they're ladies. Some call that sexist. I've taught my daughter to push back on that stuff. I'm sorry, I find it sexist. You might disagree. I do.
Well, that probably is true.
Some dudes here want some flowers.
The intent was there to do what is best, as always. The intent was there to recognize. There was no malice. I'm repeating myself.
Can I ask why when you came to meet with the staff, you didn't apologize? You took a public meeting a month later in front of all these people on the cameras?
No.
Can't ask them?
Oh, you can. You can do whatever you want. No, I had no intention of hurting anybody. If I did it accidentally, I'm sorry it happened. There was no malice, no intent to hurt anybody, to cause any divisive comments. As I said at the beginning, I wanted a win-win situation.
Mayor, it didn't come out that way.
I know, Mark. I've been hearing about it,
Sure.
but I think I've been continue trying to do my best.
I consider what you said an apology to the fiscal officer, the chief, and to the people who work in the village so well. As I said before, we have great admiration for the streets department on council and for the chiefs and the police department and the fiscal officer who go way above and beyond duty. Thank you.
I agree. I will have a written apology to every employee tomorrow.
Okay.
Sorry, we had to come here to a public meeting to get the apology.
Moving on with Human Resources report. I passed out this evening before council what is called Resolution 24-6, which is a motion to create an employee recognition policy and to set aside a date to be determined with funds authorized so that we might gather together with all of our employees in celebration of their work. In addition, recognize any employees who have retired in the previous year or any elected officials who have retired or left office. So I make the motion that we adopt Resolution 24-6 as presented to you. So moved.
Got a second?
Discussion?
Wait a minute, we need a second. Second, okay.
It's in the,
Discussion.
in the second paragraph, second sentence. I would delete as required and just leave it as the mayor shall request the council the allocation of additional funds if necessary.
Okay. I have no problem with that.
So if we do that, do we take away what started as, for example, Secretary's Day, that is now Administrative Assistance Day, and do just one date?
In the discussion in the Human Resource Committee, it was thought that having 3 separate events was not advantageous, and that having one and also being able to recognize either retiring or retired employees and public officials at the same time, much like what was originally started with the picnic plan years ago. Our expectation is not to do it as a picnic because then our employees would actually be working as part of that, and that's not the point. But to hold the event at a restaurant as we have other events, and do a recognition of all the employees in the village.
A one-off?
One-off.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
That concludes the report of HR, subject to anyone else.
And I do hope that many of you or all of you can attend the little potluck on Friday. We are now at the Properties Committee. Ruth?
Properties met on July 13th, previous to that on June 8th. Some of the things that we discussed and are in my report, the decorating with flowers, with the 4th of July, with holidays, needs a set plan that gets put into action earlier in the year so that we're not scrambling closer to the 4th of July to look, for example, patriotic. Think Christmas as well. We could do Christmas planning September and October so that we know exactly what we're doing and how to decorate. Continuing, Planning Commission meets on 7/23, that would be what, this week, this Thursday, to continue a hearing that was tabled for cosmetic and lighting changes at the gas station that needed further research by members to actually see what these will be. I had a question about the Scouts event, but we've already changed the date. And let's see. I can bring up butterflies now, but it's at the park. I'll wait till we get to parks, which is right next, isn't it? That's my properties report.
Questions of the property committee?
And along with meeting on August 12th with buildings, let's add properties at 9 a.m. if that's, well, Mary, that may not suit you. That's a Wednesday. So would you like to keep that at Monday? Monday the 10th, so let's keep that at Monday the 10th, 9 a.m. Sound good, Jerry?
Yes.
Okay. 9 a.m., August 10th, next properties meeting.
Question, Ruth.
Yes.
Maybe Tim could help answer this. So next to the salt house, salt barn, we created an L-shaped mound. My concern is it's gonna create essentially a wetland back there.
No, it falls to the wood line.
It's sloped enough
It
to go to that
naturally-
creek?
Yeah, naturally it ran back to the
Okay.
wood line, so that's why we kind of.
Okay. Initial look, it
Yeah.
looks like it's creating a bog there.
Yeah, it does, but it falls. And then there's a drain line that was installed years ago, French drain line.
And it
Where the
goes
yard was.
somewhere,
Goes out there as well.
it goes towards the woods.
Correct.
Under the mountain, west.
There's intent to, of course, beautify that and put some things on top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah, trees.
From your backyard, I don't want you looking at it and saying, what is Ruth doing?
We need,
No, we hope to make that a lot prettier. as
Where is this?
So,
It's right, when you go, if you go between the buildings up by the police station driveway, there's just an L of surplus topsoil from this project, rather than paying to truck it out.
Okay.
We put a mound there, so the mound is, it's not extraordinarily high. What it will do is as our loader backs out of the salt dome, salt trucks circle around, instead of those lights in the winter going into Kensington and surrounding area, it buffers that. And the same with police when they pull out of the drive and their garages and things when they have
And we
their.
want to beautify this?
well, we don't
Just
wanna
some-
leave it with dirt and weeds.
Yeah, it
Yes.
will be majority just grass with plantings.
So it's more or less behind the police department, across the driveway from the back of the police.
It's all mowable.
It's a work in progress.
Look right back here.
Yes.
Folks,
Yeah.
one at a time, so the record's clear, please. Tim, you wanna finish?
Yeah, it's graded so that way we can mow it.
Okay.
And then if council so chooses, we can put planting on the top, some bushes or trees or nothing, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right, back to the property committee. Anything else, Ruth?
Yes, I neglected to say Rarick, which Tim brought up before. I cannot wait to get the down trees cleaned up. And in that discussion, we had decided we need to have the property surveyed, even though some of me think that GIS handles it, but we're going to have that surveyed. And I believe that the building people were gonna call a surveyor in to do that and I want that done ASAP. We discussed it in the meeting.
Is there a date for that survey, Tim?
We don't have one.
But can you touch base
Yes,
with
I-
buildings and make sure that that gets done so that you can get signed as soon as possible? I'd like to, certainly before the turn of the weather, I'd like to have that beautiful cleaned up.
Anything else on the property
That's
committee?
properties, that's it.
All right, two things. I think, did you use AI for the minutes? Because the name is Tony Collini and the minutes.
I sent that for correction to Leslie. Yeah, she got the name combined somehow. It was incorrect, yes.
Okay. Also, at this time, this is when I thought we would have the discussion about the 1776 dinner. So, Ruth, I'd like to move that to the day before the monarch butterfly event. So,
that
do
would,
we have issues with this, or should we continue to plan? Or do we want to just go with the motion to hold this?
well, have you had, contact with the scouts and who would want to come to this, or are the scouts?
This would be adults.
This is-
Scouts were not interested in the camp out, basically, we're not interested in much of anything.
So then this is just a
This would
resident,
be the 1776 meal that would be served on a Friday, hopefully Friday the 21st at the pavilion, minimum of 25 people, maximum of 40.
we need to know if the pavilion's open that night. Is that possible to find out, Danielle?
What's that?
We need to know if the pavilion's open on
Yeah,
the
pavilion
21st.
is, yeah, it's all squared away.
Doesn't the pavilion close at dusk?
I can't imagine it would go on much
The only
longer.
reason I ask is, isn't there a movie being played? At the telescope?
Isn't it dinner and a movie? Film, 1776.
Unless it's bright enough, you can see it in the daylight, I don't know.
Could depend. I don't know, can't guarantee.
No, I'm saying it's July 20th. And you're talking about,
August 20,
more than a
21.
month.
It could be.
But if we were going to appropriate money for it,
Mhm.
you don't want to wait until the last second.
Yes. So I guess I'm looking if you wanted to pass a motion for the 1776 dinner, we should do that tonight. If you don't, that's fine. I mean,
$500 or,
no, it's only more than that.
4,000.
well, 40 people,
I'd say,
$20
I don't know, I
each.
can't remember the exact number. It's on the
It's on your,
yeah,
The event statement,
yeah, the event statement.
yeah,
event statement.
What was the total cost?
$4,000 is your budget.
Oh my God, for 40 people?
Okay, so,
It would not be that much, I'm just covering.
so
I'm
here's,
saying you're probably gonna talk.
$100 each, that's.
so here's the
Wait,
question,
wait,
here's the
1776.
question. We're inviting 4,000 residents and their friends with the hope that we would get 40 people maximum.
Yes.
So my quick math says that's 1/10 of 1%.
Okay.
It's not a very strong response to the event.
Okay.
Sounds like a lot of effort for a little reward.
It's like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with the properties, we'll forget it. Properties Committee, we're skipping, Ruth, it's back to you for Parks Committee.
Parks. Parks needs to meet, but upcoming, and we have on tonight's ordinances, et cetera, we have secured payments for the Fall Fest. The only thing that I need to double check with Ted, presuming, because he's already told me months ago that he would be doing the apples, but I need to confirm with him. And actually say in a public meeting, if Ted is unable, and I hope he is able to do his apple cider thing, I have a cider mill. I really don't want to take it from Ted, but that's where we are. I have had contact from the daughter of a resident who is pursuing a PhD in biology, that the beech trees at the park have nematodes and that there is no cure to get rid of them, but perhaps somebody like Holden, people that deal with these things, could help us, I'm sure at a cost. The deer interfere with this because as the overlayer of trees, the canopy of beech trees goes, the little deer munch, chew, and kill the saplings as they come up. This country person says it's time to do something about the deer. I know that I don't get a lot of agreement when I say that, but it's a thought. I have talked with this person, I haven't met with her, and I've invited to meet with her on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, we're going to meet with Kelly Ballou, I've forgotten her married name, related to a butterfly release that is going to go on the kids' bike event on August 22nd. And there's more than that, Mary, is that ice cream and kids' bike and hopefully butterfly release. The Parks Committee gave permission for this years ago for release butterfly cocoon type things at the Fall Fest, but it was too late in the year. That's why we're going to talk about it and consider it for August 22nd. Further with the parks, Chris Berger has given us information that there is money available at private sources to make an addition to the playground for the younger toddlers, for the young little kids that are just learning to walk, 2 and 3-year-olds. We have looked at the playground. Tim Young has walked us around, and we've identified a space that we could use, and he has sought equipment, I guess, would be quotes and equipment for things that are available. And we need to pursue this and go forward and let you know what we can do, because our people love our park. He already addressed the bocce work, which the end of last week with 95 degrees and smoke all over the place, they worked very hard, very hard. I would not have wanted that job. Mayor, to address your 911 event, there was little to no enthusiasm with that at the Properties Committee. And actually, I kind of get that, because I know the schools cover it real thoroughly, and you would know that as well. I can't say it's a bad idea. I just think it's already covered. If you want to pursue it with the other communities, you mentioned that. Why don't you feel that out and see what the feeling is? Maybe we could all meet in one place. But I know that most of the schools cover this quite thoroughly. And then my last comment, the plantings at the South Park are looking pretty dry, and they needed deadheaded. So your gardening girl today deadheaded some plants down there at South Park. And that's all I have.
Questions of the Parks Committee?
There's a park meeting to be set in early August, and I don't have a date yet.
Just to compliment the Parks Committee, Councilwoman Kavanaugh and the mayor for the band you have. A lot of great commentary on that, so nice work to all of you.
The band was great. We give the mayor credit for that. I teared up once, and Mr. Berger was there as well. It was very good. Jerry, I missed you.
It was a beautiful evening in the park, and the park never looked lovelier.
Thank you. I agree.
So,
Questions of the Parks Committee? We should do a motion, if you're interested, to hold the ice cream bike ride on Saturday, August 22nd. When we do that, we should get that so we can get the word out.
It's not on there yet. I make a motion that we,
Release butterflies.
No, we're not doing, that's gonna be a private thing.
Oh.
We don't wanna get into selling butterflies.
well, no, but she is gonna release. She's gonna.
Yeah, but that can be an event, but we don't wanna get involved in selling butterflies.
No, I don't want to. I just want to make it as part of the ice cream, bike, and butterfly event on August 22nd. I move that we hold that at the park. So moved.
Is there a time for this?
Second.
I think that what time did you want to take the kids across? And the chief had something to do, would be there too.
This is a Saturday you're talking about?
Saturday afternoon, chief.
Any time in particular?
2 o'clock or?
I think the butterfly lady was picking the time, wasn't she?
So we talk on Wednesday, I don't know, time to be determined.
Okay.
So moved.
It's been moved. Do we have the second?
Second.
Second, thank you, Mary. Discussion. All those in favor for a ice cream bike ride and butterfly release on Saturday, August 22nd, exact time to be determined, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, motion passes. Thank you, Ruth. All right, we're at Public Utilities.
Yes, Mayor, the Public Utilities Committee did not meet in July. 3 members, or 2 members and the street commissioner went to Russell Township and addressed the trustees with regard to potential reimbursement of half the cost of Walters Road. project. And the minutes of that are in your packets because we thought there would be more members of the committee there, so we recorded it anyway. And the request was for a little bit more than $31,000, which would be approximately half the cost of the project. The street commissioner was in attendance, as was Todd Cruzy as a citizen representative. Street commissioner gave some details to the trustees that they found illuminating, and they will get back to us as to whether or not they're going to proceed with that once they have identified the proper fund for that expenditure. So Public Utilities will follow up with them in a month or so and see if they are going to follow through. Beyond that, we have a meeting scheduled, as Streets mentioned, for 6:30 p.m. on August 6th at the Street Commissioner's office.
So they did get a deputy fiscal officer, so they're in a little bit of flux.
They are in a bit of flux. They are, as I recall, still looking for a fiscal officer, but if they don't hire one, then the probate judge will appoint one.
That's where it's at.
Is that for sure?
Yeah, they missed the 30-day.
They did?
Yep.
Well,
Any questions?
see what happens.
All set, Mark?
Yeah.
Public Utilities Committee, any questions of the Public Utilities Committee?
Thank you, Mark, for pursuing that. That's months and months.
Hearing none, we're at the Safe Bike and Pedestrian Transport Committee meeting.
All right, Safe Bicycle and Pedestrian Transport, we met last Friday. About July 10th. So, for those in the room, the committee is comprised of 3 council members and 2 voting members from the public. Everybody's welcome. We meet the first Fridays of the month except for July because of the 4th holiday. So you're more than welcome to join us the next first Friday, which is August 7th. But we do meet at 7:30 a.m. So my apologies. Here in Village Hall. At our last meeting, we discussed a lot of things, including why a lot of people were here tonight, the path. As a committee, we feel like we prefer to have more time to look for alternative funding opportunities and then get more ducks in a row and have public education if we're going to move forward with any kind of project. Our recommendation as a committee is not to put this on the ballot this year, but I will leave it to council when it comes to the time to make the decision whether we decide to vote to put that on a levy tonight or not. That's all I have for the committee right now. Councilman Rensel, do you have anything to add?
I know.
Questions of the Path Committee? Hearing none, we're at the Administration Technology Committee.
Yes, we met this morning, July 20th. We'll meet again August 17th at 7 a.m. I have a note here that we have an event form that we have been working on to organize our events. At this point in time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the use of that form in the village in getting us scheduled for our events. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion.
I have one question. This is just for the South Russell Village events, the village sponsored events.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would ask you to take a look at the event form and take a look at one of the events that I proposed. They're different. I added some things to try to give more information on the events that I proposed. So I guess I suggest you vote the motion down and then take a look at maybe possibly revising it, because I think there's some changes and we make the form better. Sometimes it's just the sequencing of questions.
I have no problem tabling the motion pending a review of the mayor's comments.
Do you need a second? Or do you just table it?
Just
Table it.
Table it. Okay.
We'll do it in August. It's not a crisis. Okay. I have to ask the fiscal officer, have we come up with a new date for the retreat?
That was Mary.
Mary,
Mary,
you were gonna,
Yeah, so I contacted her, I haven't heard back from her today, so she offered, days. The first, August 1st, 15 and 22. That's what she offered, so.
15th, 21st, or the 22nd?
August 1, 15 and 22, all Saturday mornings.
Thank you.
So the question is, there's availability of council.
I'd rather wait till the weather's bad. I don't want it in the summer on Saturdays.
Well, the 22nd is the butterfly release.
It's true.
Promise it'll rain that day.
Maybe we could get dates in the fall, Ruth.
Yeah.
I agree, it's nice to do it.
Just September, yeah.
How about deep December?
Okay, well, as council doesn't seem to have an agreeable date, we will continue to try to find that and see what the answers might be. And we'll move on.
Thank you, Mary.
At our meeting this morning, we did discuss our ongoing issues with ADP. ADP is the security component of Geauga County for technology. We've struggled with them for some time, let's say it that way. I put out an email this afternoon asking for their leader to attend the next admin tech meeting, and he has agreed to do so. So we will discuss that with him. Just a quick website update. We are continuing to work with a website designer on revised website for the village, with much appreciation to the chief and to the fiscal officer for their continued work. We're not where we want to be yet, but we've asked Phyllis Marino to join in that process. She's part of the committee, and she's agreed to do that. So hopefully soon we'll have a new website to show you. We also discussed that we have, in the move of the building department, we have drawings. We have some very large oversized drawings that have been stored for some period of time in the attic. It's time to figure out what to do with those. One of the options is to get those digitized. And there is a program through one of the schools where potentially we can get students to help us in doing the digitizing process, so that we have permanent storage of those records, but yet in electronic rather than paper form. So we're working on that. Finally, is a ordinance coming up regarding cleaning services. As many of you know, our individual who has done the cleaning here for years is retiring. We have interviewed, we have come to an agreement with a cleaning service, and we are making a recommendation tonight to move forward on that. So unless there are other comments from the committee, that concludes the report.
Questions of the Administrative Technology Committee? Hearing none, we're at the ordinances and resolutions.
Can we go back for a second
Yeah.
on that committee? There was some mention on social media about internet coverage and why we don't have better internet coverage. So can we tell just, our residents, is that our actions at all to, advise on internet abilities here in this area? Or it's just our providers and we're, you have to upgrade as you can,
What's the
depending.
question, Mary?
Does council have any, purview over our internet strength?
Not particular.
Our de facto technology expert is the police chief, and so I'll defer to his expertise.
I reached out to our tech wizard at Geauga County Sheriff's Department, and I found a phone number for a Verizon representative. I think the big problem is Verizon, as far as I'm aware. It's down in the dip, down by Paw Paw Lake. Top of the hill, 1400 block of Bell Road.
Sherbrooke.
And Snyder, Champion.
Sherbrooke.
Oh, Sherbrooke too? Yeah, wasn't even thinking about that one. But I don't know if anybody here on AT&T has any problems because AT&T is what we moved to in the police department for our mobile air cards that operate our mobile data terminals. We have no issues whatsoever. So I think it's contained to Verizon. I received a representative's phone number. I will reach out to her tomorrow to see what we could do to try to force them into looking into this potential tech issue. I think it's just a coverage issue. In my opinion, Verizon was fantastic a number of years ago in the area. I think that was on the older network. As they progress into the 5G, I think as they convert these towers over, this is where some of the gaps and coverages are because they want to maintain the old network and implement the new network. So we've got 2 or 3 different networks on one tower. I think it's just an incomplete process. And I do believe that they prioritize the highways and the major market areas. I think Bell Road and South Russell might be the last on the list. So I'll do what I can to get some information.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
A good portion of Sugar Valley's been having issues recently in the last 2 months.
Oh, yeah. 5G, Verizon did, and they're having issues.
So I don't know if it's a coordinate with other communities too, and that makes it big enough for Alheris.
I can tell you that the main campus, main campus downtown is sponsored by Verizon, and phones don't work within the hospital.
Anybody here live in Leaview, Lakeview? So here they've just gone to Kinetic. Friend of mine just said they have Kinetic.
Internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the question was about internet.
Yeah.
But you were talking about cell phones.
Cellular.
Yeah.
But Windstream changed over to Kinetic, so it's just a.
Spectrum, does the Spectrum go all the way through? No.
Spectrum's
Yeah, it was.
Spectrum is Verizon, they use Verizon towers, because I have Spectrum and I have the same problem with Verizon. I'm driving home and I go down the hill and I lose the call.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I have a trick. You can put your phone on the dashboard on speaker and it works. It'll hold the call. Keep it high up on the car.
As long as I don't get pulled over. Don't touch it now, don't touch it.
Does your internet?
Hey, Chief.
I'm gonna get out of jail free.
Anything else on this issue? Anyone?
So the residents could keep an eye on this committee. This is where you get these questions answered. I think it's what they wanted to know, like where to go. So
No, it's great. I did have a discussion briefly yesterday with a gentleman who is involved in the building of cell towers and asking what the process was. And the process is very simply, the more complaints that the carriers get, that drives them looking at building cell towers. They go to a third party who builds and then they lease off of those cell towers. So the more complaints you make, we will make the complaint from a village perspective and try to drive this. But contact your reps and tell them that you're having problems, and hopefully they will address that with us.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, anything else? We're in ordinances. The first ordinance is tabled. Do we want to do anything with this ordinance?
Yes, I want to make a motion to untable this ordinance. So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it is untabled.
Okay, this is a third reading of an ordinance declaring if necessary to levy a tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation and declaring an emergency. Third reading.
We have a second.
So you would move to adopt.
This is a motion to adopt. Yep.
Hearing no second. Solicitor? It dies.
Fails.
It's dead. Okay.
You might want to mention that was the levy for the bike.
Levy for the ballot. It's
So they're
dead.
not gonna put it on the ballot.
Yeah.
So it will not be on the ballot.
Okay. All right. Ruth, the next few are yours.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the contract between Ohio Mobile Gaming Corporation and the Village of South Russell for rental equipment consisting of an inflatable bouncer and slide for the 2026 Fall Festival in an amount not to exceed $1,013.86, authorizing the mayor to execute the contract and declaring an emergency. move to waive readings, thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call.
Renzel. Aye. Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Renzel. Aye. Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. The next one's yours, Ruth.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the contract between A1 Mr. Limo Incorporated and the Village of South Russell for trolley shuttle services for the 2026 Fall Festival in an amount not to exceed $725.40, authorizing the mayor to execute the contract and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Renzel. Aye. Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Renzel. Aye. Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. One more, Ruth.
And introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the contract between Flower Entertainment, Inc. and the Village of South Russell for various services for the 2026 Fall Festival in an amount not to exceed $4,350, authorizing the mayor to execute the contract and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Need a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Renzel. Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Hang on.
Sure.
What's Flower Entertainment?
That's the group that has basically come with, I'm
They
forgetting.
do the face
with
painting and
the entertainment.
Oh, of all the.
We've had them, I believe we've had them for 3 years
Okay,
running.
okay, aye. Thank you.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I'm slow.
Renzel. Aye. Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
All right, Jerry.
Okay.
Ordinance passes.
Okay.
You're up.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance amending section 478.03B of the codified ordinance of the Village of South Russell to remove Bell Road as one of the roads upon which golf carts are prohibited in the village, and declaring an emergency. Suspend further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Renzel. Question.
Sure.
I like our chief's opinion on this, but he just left.
Yeah, so I think it was an error that they had already allowed actually golf carts to be driven on Bell Road. but
Yeah.
Accidentally, when we actually passed this originally,
Yeah,
it was actually included on there. So what it is that the golf carts are prohibited from being on any road that is 35 miles per hour or higher.
yeah.
And so that includes Bell, but then there was it was a conflicting
Oh.
sentence. So actually it was already the intent to have it.
So they can be on
I
Bell?
believe so.
Yes.
Am I wrong on that? I thought
Okay.
that was the way it read.
But these are, I asked the chief, because I called him this afternoon, so clarify. In the definition of golf carts, these are golf carts that are street legal. That is, that they have lights and brake lights and all the rest, okay? But, so it's for roads 35 mile an hour speed limit or less. And so this was included by accident in a previous ordinance, and so we're correcting the record.
This would allow them on Bell Road?
Yes,
And so how fast are they gonna go? They gonna puddle along?
they,
They can't go above 35.
well, they go 20 or 25 miles an hour.
That's on the e-bikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
My recollection is the state law allows this.
Yes.
So we're complying with state law
Correct.
in doing this.
Okay,
I think I'm
all right, we're good. I think we're,
Aye.
Bell.
Nay.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Nay.
Kavanaugh.
Nay.
Porter. So that was just for waiving, so this will be up for a second reading at the next meeting.
Okay.
Motion to adopt?
no,
No.
just waiving readings, we're stalled. Okay, next one's personal property. Who wants that one?
I'll do it. Introduce and consider for adoption a resolution authorizing sale of personal property not needed by the village and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Finance.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance amending the 2026 annual appropriations, increasing general fund expenses $20,000 even, declaring an emergency, waive further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Next one's
This is
Money.
NOPEC.
I'll do this one, Bill. I'd like to introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance amending the certificate of estimated resources, increasing general fund revenue $20,000 from a NOPEC NEC grant, declaring an emergency. Move to waive further readings.
Second.
roll call.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh. Porter.
Aye. Move to adopt.
Second.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. This is property back to you, Ruth.
I'll take it. Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the service agreement between the Village of South Russell and Coverall North America, Inc., DBA Coverall, for cleaning services for the village buildings in an amount not to exceed $8,500, authorizing the fiscal officer to execute the agreement on behalf of the village and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Ruth, this next one's yours. This allows us to have alternates for the Architecture Review Board.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance amending section 264.01 of the Village of South Russell's codified ordinances and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Next one, roads, streets.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance approving the project grant/loan agreement with the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvements Program for a grant in the amount in the amount of $50,000 to the Village of South Russell for Hazelwood Storm and Pavement Project, authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement, authorizing the fiscal officer to execute the promissory note, and declaring an emergency. Move to waive further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Wenzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Canton.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. We have a couple changes here. Let's do the motion first. Did you get to?
I've got them.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to ratify the June 30th, 2026 payment register in the amount of $21,931.34. The July 10th, 2026 payment register in the amount of $144,844.08. The July 14th, 2026 payment register, excuse me, in the amount of $400 even, and approve the July 20th, 2026 payment register in the amount of $65,475.14. So moved.
Second.
Second discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. We're at new other.
So new other, the one thing I didn't know if you wanted me to remind you for that Haas do you wanna?
For Mr. Hunt.
To approve that
Yeah,
ARB?
Yeah, I need to make a motion to appoint Mr. James Haas to the Architectural Board of Review. So moved.
As an alternate.
As an alternate.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? James is on. Now we're at new other.
So new other rental.
I'm gonna be out the meeting of 10/19. So the date of September meeting on here is September 8th. Because of Labor Day.
So September, October 19th.
Well, I'll be there September 8th. I'm just saying the date here. Needs to be
Oh,
updated. Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Okay,
But
got it.
I'm out 10/19.
None.
You don't have anything? I'm sorry.
None.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Berger,
None.
Canton,
None.
Nothing.
Porter.
I hate to be the fly in the ointment, but we have meeting scheduled for September 7th. That's Labor Day.
Wait, that's what.
It's been moved to September
We did move
8th.
that, didn't we, to the 8th?
It is moved to September 8th. It's just.
We just have to fix it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
We did it in like January.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Does somebody want to approve Mary's absence for October 19th while we're on
I
this?
will make a motion for council to approve that Councilmember Rensel will miss the October 19th council meeting. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have a motion for executive session.
No.
Hearing none, have a motion to adjourn at 9:10.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Bell, seconded by Porter. All those in favor say aye.
Really fast.
Opposed?
Down, yeah.
We are adjourned at 9:10.
Are we not having an executive?
50 minutes. Yes.
5 minutes? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got lots of. Yeah. Up at 5.
For levy.
You're gonna
About the ordinance.
That's good to hear.
That they did not,
Tell me
someone get a
about it.
motion to approve and it never got seconded. That was for the levy.
Still off.
So I don't know about the other stuff that you put in as far as like, yeah, that is the, that's the grant, yes.
Sorry,
The
sorry.
levy itself was.
Danielle, we're still live.
Village.
Bye, Jerry.
That project. And the council chose not to put it on the levy.
I understand that was an element of it, but then also the recommendation of the trail project, does that?
Oh, I'm sorry, so that project, we were hoping it would be like an.
Okay. Now you can
They've
talk.
asked